Guys, we are back. Once again, it's your boy Miss Licks, and we are back for another one here on this year's Sunday edition for the BPTV Live Interaction Reaction Vibrations. Welcome to every single one of you guys, and of course, we're going to be talking about a number of things, that of which is pertaining to the prosperity for Dominicans, brothers and sisters. And I think, of course, the present regime is not doing that. They might claim to do this, but of course, we're gonna go into that vibrations with none other than Mr. Dr. Thomson Fontaine, Mr. Dr. Thomson Fontaine, or Doctor. I don't know, guys, but welcome to you guys for definitely tuning into these vibrations. I'm doing a bit earlier on because I have to make a move in another vicinity right there, brothers and sisters. So I'm gonna get to that vibrations for you guys, and of course, I'm gonna wait for like 10 minutes as usual when it comes on to that vibrations right there. So let me just get into this thing, and of course, switch over. And then let me get into you guys right there. And of course, I would appreciate if you guys share out this video as well. And of course, so that other persons will get to know, so they can join in that regard as well. By the way, I'm not sure if I actually did it. We actually have 17,000 subscribers, going into 17,100 very soon. So if you've not subscribed to the channel, definitely subscribe to the channel, guys, so you can get more vibrations, as they do definitely tend to come through right there. But let me just set this stuff up. How many individuals are in? 3 individuals in, guys. I know I started a bit earlier on. 4 of you guys in. Don't forget to click the thumbs up button for me, guys. I would appreciate that right there. Click the like button. I'm just gonna stay for a few minutes, guys, so definitely share out this video, share it out right there. Let me just organize this stuff. And of course, as indicated always, when it comes down to this live interaction reactions, you guys also tend to watch after the live interaction reaction. Where are you guys watching from? Let me know that in the live chat. If you're after this here live chat reaction, then definitely let me know in the comment box below where you guys are watching from. I think a number of people need to know where individuals are watching from, because it gives them an insight as to how vast the amount of individuals who tend to watch these videos, guys. Progress is what we need in the nature of the Caribbean, and I think that is something that is vital for our well-being, guys. 6 of you guys in the building. Kudos to you guys so far. Of course, give a thumbs up right there. I know, like I indicated before, I know a number of persons tend to come afterwards to the live interaction. Yeah, but I did indicate that I will be doing it right there. I just wasn't sure when exactly I was going to do it. I actually had to do this reaction since Wednesday. I think it was Wednesday, but I was caught up right there. I had some friends from overseas that came down, and you know, they wanted to lime. I should have made a vlog on that, but anyways, they wanted to make a lime, guys, so I had to roll out with them. But welcome to every single one of you guys who have tuned in thus far. If you would like, let me know where you guys are watching from. How many minutes do we have on this thing so far? Let me see. We have 3. We just started, man. 3 minutes in, guys. We'll wait for 7 minutes, and then of course we'll get into the vibrations for the day right there. I'm just setting up this stuff to make sure that everything is fine and dandy. 10 of you guys in the building. Where are you guys watching from, man? Also, guys, you have to be subscribed to the channel to definitely leave a message in the live chat. So definitely do so, guys. Subscribe to the channel so you'll be notified right there. And of course, inadvertently becoming part of the Mr. Licks family as well. So subscribe for you to be able to talk in the live chat. I think the subscriber only mode has been turned on. And we're just gonna get into the vibrations right there. Like I indicated before, guys, don't forget to share out the video. I unfortunately did not do that. Let me see if I can share it myself. Yeah, I should be able to do that. Yeah. Okay. I appreciate the individual that gave the thumbs up. Others in the building, if you guys would like to help push these videos further and further out there, don't forget to click the thumbs up button, guys. Just click the like button, helping to push these videos further and further out there when it comes on to that. Yes, guys, 12 of you guys in the building. Let me share this out to my BPTV group. it finally worked. Okay. So, yes. What is this? No. What? Okay, so this is not it. I'm like, what is this? Okay. Whoop. Yes, guys. Yes, guys. Yes, guys. 15 of you guys, 3 likes. Don't forget to click the thumbs up button. Like I indicated before, guys, the subscriber mode has been turned on. So you have to be a subscriber to live interact with me on the live chat. Let me switch over to the live chat. And we're just waiting for a few more minutes. About 3 minutes and 30 seconds before we get into the vibrations for the day. I know I started a bit early on. I see Adeline Schillingford. Big up yourself one time. I don't know what you stated right there, but big up yourself for being in the live chat right there, guys. I know a number of persons might not know where the live chat is. It's actually on the side of the thing. So if you're a subscriber, you can just definitely come in and leave a thought and comment when we're interacting with this video right there. I still have not shared this stuff, man. That's crazy. Get shareable link. Okay, I think I've done it now. By the way, guys, Starlink, for those of you who don't know, Starlink is actually in Dominica right now, man. Starlink. That is crazy right there, man. I think that is a good thing when you see it comes down to, you know, internet, man. It seems like the world is just becoming one place. And of course, Starlink is Elon Musk. I know some of you guys probably don't like Elon Musk, but I think it is a wonderful thing when he's able to link the world together over the internet. And sometimes I think it might end up being cheaper than your own service provider. The question here is, how effective will it be when it comes down to the availability factor of the internet? Because obviously we are connecting to the satellite, and connecting to the satellite, you know, satellites tend to move from time to time. But I think they know exactly what they're doing when it comes to that aspect right there. But it was sent to me. Elon actually posted it stating that Starlink is now in Dominica. So, and it's relatively cheap. I think it's about $140 per month EC. And the equipment, I think, is about 500 and something. The mini one, there's a bigger one, I think, is about 1,100 EC dollars. So I think that, you know, just getting the equipments and stuff, and you wouldn't have to worry about anything. No, we cut out the middleman, brothers and sisters. Straight to the internet box we go in. Satellite internet, straight. I might get the mini one, no doubt about it. Especially when I know when there's hurricane and stuff. You know, especially if I'm in Dominica and there's a hurricane. Hurricane season is full in effect right now. So I think that'll be pretty cool. Not necessarily pretty cool, but necessary, you know. If individuals are able to buy the Starlink. Keep in mind, I'm not being promoting this. I'm just stating that it could be much helpful, especially for the hurricane season when things go haywire. Imagine that there's no hurricane at all, and then, you know, electricity just goes. With the Starlink thing, I think there's also an adapter where you can connect it to, or for those who have the what do you call that? The power banks. If you guys have a power bank, I have a few of them. I'm actually seeing one right now. I have a few power banks, so you can actually connect the Starlink, and it gives you internet one time, man. So you don't even need internet. Sometimes you have your power bank that is also connected to a solar device somewhere, and you don't need internet. You're just getting, you know, the sun's energy that is converted and charging the batteries and stuff, and you have your internet without any affiliation to Domlec whatever. So I think that is a good thing in that regard right there. You know, if certain circumstances tend to come through, it's always good to be prepared. I always believe in the preparation of things, you know, right there. Anyways, we have a few seconds remaining. Let me just see who is in the building right now. Did I share it? Yes, I did. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes, I did, guys. All right, guys. So that's good. Let me get back inside there. And yeah, 23 of you guys in the building. 6 likes. Okay, guys, we're about to get into the vibrations for the day. But please click the thumbs up button for your boy right there. I would appreciate that, no doubt about it. So definitely do so. And of course, if you are new, well, there's a number of you guys who are joining in. Let me know where you guys are watching from. Let me switch over to the live chat right there. Yes, guys, subscriber mode only on. So if you want to get into that, you have to subscribe and then leave your thoughts in the live chat as well. Those who are watching or will be watching the video after, big up yourself. You can also leave your thoughts in the comment box below. And of course, the reason why I tend to do the live chat is because I get to interact with you. I get to see your messages as well as we're reviewing this at the same time. One of the things that I like to do when it comes on to these kind of aspects right there, I like to review it for the first time with you guys. Most of the time that I tend to do the live interaction videos, I'm actually watching it for the very first time. So we get to participate live with it right there. So if there's any surprises and curveballs, you know we are doing it live and in person, in color. Well, not in person, but you know, in color on your screen, whether your TV or you're on your phone or your internet. A number of you guys actually watching from your television. So big up from the television massive right there. Anyways, guys, let me see how long this is in before I continue. Let me see this thing. Right, 11 minutes. Okay, so let us get into the vibrations right there. But I see Quinton Peter, big up yourself one time. He's saying I back in concrete. Woy boy. Yes, Quinton, I big up yourself one time. It was really good seeing you for the festival, the Jazz and Creole Festival, no doubt about it. And you know, you have to keep on with that British accent. Big up the Posse Massive in England right there. Anyways, guys, without further ado, let us get into the vibes. Of course, you can always leave your thoughts and comments in the live chat as well, guys. And let us get into the vibrations right now. Let me bring back to the start. And of course, let's get it.
The press conference of the United Workers' Party.
Hopefully you guys are hearing
At
everything.
this point in time, I will call on Mrs. Eddie John Finn.
Also, this is on MO News, eh? So if you want it uninterrupted, you will check MO News right there.
Let us all reference God this morning. Our Father and our God, we give you glory, we give you praise. We thank you, Father God, for this new day, and we thank you for taking each person here safely. We pray, dear Lord, for those who are on their way, that you, Lord, will hasten their footsteps and they will be here safely. Father God, as we commence this press conference, we pray, dear Lord, that you will give us clarity of thought. You will bless each speaker here today. For God, you know the outcome of this meeting, of this conference. May it be a source of hope for the people of Dominica. May it be a source of enlightenment, dear God. We pray, Father, in the mighty name of Jesus, you will bring deliverance to the people of Dominica through this press conference, through what is said today, dear Lord. Guide our decisions. Bless every person present here today, Father God.
Okay,
We just place it into your hands, Father God, because you know the outcome already, dear Lord. Because you are the author, you are the finisher of all things. And we just give everything to you, Father. We place it all in your hands.
Amen.
Father,
Amen, sister. Kudos for the prayer, no doubt about it, but we got to get into the vibrations right there. I'm sure a number of you guys did not come for the prayer, but I always like the fact that they do definitely pray, no doubt about it. Let me just make sure my mic just went off for some reason. We rebuke the devil today, man. Yo, but yeah, guys, let us get into the vibrations. Let's continue. Ready? 27 of you guys are in the building. 8 likes, guys. Definitely click the thumbs up button to help share these videos. And of course, if you want to leave a super chat is also helping to support this channel when I tend to do my videos in that regard right there. So definitely do so, guys. I would appreciate that. No doubt about it. All right, there. Anyways, guys, let's continue with what is taking place.
Leader, Honorable Hector Sparks John. We have our General Secretary, Mr. Nicholas George, and we have Honorable Ronald Charles, who is the Deputy Vice President of our party. In our mix here, we recognize...
But wait a while, there's a Deputy Vice President, so who's the Vice President? I always found it interesting. You know, I always ask that question. For example, in Dominica, we have a president, but I don't think we have a vice president. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think we have a vice president at all. Let's continue. Let's get to the information, guys. You know, I like Soso. Actually did a podcast with Soso. Brilliant individual. Absolutely brilliant. He said a number of things when it comes down to the agricultural sector, that of which I found was very enlightening. So big up to Soso one time.
Thank you, Mr. PRO, Mr. Glenroy Coffey. And of course, thank you
Ronald
for being here this afternoon or this morning. Of course, I want to again reinforce and welcome our political leader, Dr. Thomson Fontaine. Put your hands together for Dr. Thomson Fontaine. Now, as the Vice President of this wonderful organization, we have
Vice
a press
President. Okay, so Deputy Vice President. What is Deputy Vice President? I don't anyway.
conference, and it is entitled Shared Prosperity for All Dominicans. Of course, our political leader will elaborate on that. It is very important that we understand as a people, and from especially where I sit, we go.
Guys, I see a comment that indicated right there. I am pleased with the way in which Dr. Fontaine outlined the 10 pillars for moving Dominicans forward. One of the reasons why I'm doing this video, because I heard a number of persons saying, but Miss Licks, we always hear you talk about the other side and this and that and what they're not doing and so forth and so forth. What is the part that the United Workers Party is doing? Why should we side with them? And I'm indicating to them that I actually did a number of videos talking about them. Apparently, some people just don't want to tune in at all. And then they make noise about what is actually being stated because they don't listen themselves. Like it doesn't exist. It does exist. You guys just have to listen.
Go through ups and downs, we go through rivers and valleys.
Facts.
But there's always a lovely ending to what we go through.
Persecution.
And today I stand here very relaxed, and I'm very happy to be here. And one of the reasons is I have had the opportunity to kind of evaluate what is going on in Dominica.
Me too.
And I see our leader continue to do what he do best. And that is to engage the people of Dominica.
One thing I have to big up Dr. Thomson Fontaine. I have to big him up. Because, guys, I always believe in the philosophy of the burning building. If you're in a burning building, nobody has to come and tell you coming from the burning building. But Dr. Thomson Fontaine, for some reason or the other, believes that, hey, even if you're in a burning building, you still have to tell them, hey, come out from the burning building. Bruh. Anyways.
To ensure that the people of Dominica get the right message moving forward. I know that the media will have questions. We'll be more than happy to, of course, entertain your questions.
Okay. Let's continue, guys.
Persons who were present, I just slipped me that I did not recognize.
Okay. Big up to all those there.
As the deputy, good morning.
Okay. So that is
protocol has
the...
already been established. This morning there, I stand in my
You'll see what it is. Why is?
capacity, my new role as the deputy political leader of the United Workers Party. I say I can't time me wrong, but I bring some experience, stability, loyalty, and teamwork
Teamwork makes the dream work.
in my capacity as your deputy political leader.
By the way, guys, there's 43 of you guys in the building right now, man. 43 of you guys, 9 likes. Click the thumbs up button for me, please. I appreciate the individual that just clicked the thumbs up button. That, of course, will help to push these videos further and further. So definitely click the thumbs up button. And like I indicated before, you can also leave a super chat if you definitely want to show some sort of support to the channel as well. So I'd appreciate if you guys do so, but definitely click the thumbs up button. It's free. Big up to Hector John for definitely being, the new deputy political leader.
As I said, I am a team player, and I work under the leadership of Dr. Thomson Fontaine and my other team members to ensure that the United Workers Party bring prosperity to the people of Dominica.
I think that should always be the focus for any political party. Bring prosperity not to yourself, but to your people. And in the capacity of doing so, somebody asked an important question. Indicate, Mr. Lixo, what do you think the people who are PAL reps of Dominica at present, do you think they can go back to the normal jobs that they were doing? And I'm thinking to myself, what he says there makes a lot of sense, because if you are a PAL rep of the people, you're supposed to represent the people. You're supposed to be doing things in the best interest of the people. And if you're not doing so, obviously you would think that you would not be able to go back because of your lack of action to actually help to elevate the standing of the people. If you were to go back, leave the position as PAL rep or whatever position you are in when it comes down to the authority of Dominica, if you were to go back, brothers and sisters, you know that you would have done well. But apparently they know that they're not doing well, so that's why they don't want to go anywhere. They know they're not doing good for the country, and they know they cannot go back because it'll be worse for them, which means they are fully aware of what they have caused or refused to do when it comes down to the elevation of the people.
Something that we have
I'm talking about the present regime, guys.
escaped from for the past time is performance. And where we are today. Performance matter.
Indeed.
No matter what you say, performance matter.
Yep.
And the United Workers' Party showed that in the 4.5 years they have been here.
When they always mention about the 4.5 years, I agree to a sentiment that although they are under the umbrella of United Workers' Party, I also don't believe that they have the opportunity to showcase themselves, because the United Workers' Party of 1995 and the present United Workers' Party is probably 95% completely different. It is completely different. You have a set of new individuals there who are looking to showcase their talents and skills, and I believe that they should be given the opportunity for them to do so. We already know what the present one is doing. The DLP team has sucked. They're literally sucking out the blood life of Dominica when it comes on to the economic standing, while elevating themselves, increasing their salaries, and the people are still balling today. It's worse off than it was yesterday, brothers and sisters, than it is today, and I don't think that is a good thing.
And for 25 years, we are hearing the blame game about the United Workers' Party that have been out for 25 years. So that means United Workers' Party indeed performed for the 4.5 years it was in office. And we as a party, we should begin to change the narrative to ensure that
Modernization.
Dominicans get what they want in terms of prosperity, employment for the children, economic viability.
No, but sisters, as he's speaking here, I know a number of you guys say, Mr. Lex, don't cut it off. I cutting it off. But as he's speaking there, guys, I remember the thought process of actually trying to do things and asking people, how are you going to do this? And in the last reaction I did on Mr. Lex Reacts, he actually answered a number of questions, and I think that is a good thing. I also think you guys need to share that one as well.
Sustainability, stability, and something, the sincerity of purpose. I think a lot of us are in the politics for what we can get, but not what we can do for the country of Dominica. And we have seen that played out over and over. The sincerity of purpose is critical.
Yep.
How sincere are you?
That is the key factor for me right there. It's not necessarily on the things that you say or the things that you say you might do. This is why I actually had some and this is why I like to do the podcast, you know, guys. It gives me an understanding of other people and how they think, so that I can actually challenge them on how they think, so I can get a better, deeper understanding of why they think the way that they think. One of the things that we like to see, brothers and sisters, is a lot of people like to talk, and there's not much action that follows suit. That's one. Another aspect right there is a number of persons like to talk, and there's actions that follow, but there's no sincerity of heart at all. Because they are just doing it because they have to do it. They don't care about it. That's why a number of persons, when you see them in a job, they don't care about the job. They're just there to make some monies. I actually have a friend of mine who runs a business, and one of the things that he likes to do, he doesn't care if you are able to do the job well, because some people can do the job well. He wants to see the sincerity of actually wanting to be there, because he knows that if things were to flop, the people who are just doing the jobs because they know things are good, they will leave. But he's making sure that he's there. You might not be doing well, but you are sincere enough to want to see the company grow. And that is always a good thing when it comes down to the sentiment of competency. I think it follows in action.
Running for office. And I feel comfortable with the team that I'm with, the United Workers' Party. I'm sure that Also, the United Workers' Party, Salisbury, has gained a very hardworking, bold, and independent community in the leadership of our country and the leadership of United Workers' Party. So I know we'll go places with Dr. Thomson Fontaine and the United Workers' Party, Team Dominica.
I agree to a sentiment, not necessarily because it's on the United Workers' Party, but because Dr. Thomson Fontaine has showed the competence. Like I indicated before, guys, it's not about what you say, but in showing the competence and the sincerity of what you actually do. He has helped a number of countries. Don't you think that is a huge possibility that will also help Dominica? Absolutely. But a number of persons are still asking the question about the viability factor of the United Workers' Party. I just don't get it.
All is not lost, but we have to work together as a people. We have to work together as a team. No matter if you're a laborite, disgruntled or not, Dominicans is ours to build. And
as he's saying that, there, brothers and sisters, reminds me of the situation that took place in Dublin with all the individuals who apparently were coming. And of course, it has been brought to my attention that there were packages being given. And in the packages being given, this is why I saw a number of persons with shirts. In the packages given, they gave people shirts, they gave people a number of things, and it was alleged to me that there was $200 given in each package for individuals to show up. So outside of what we're hearing about the bus drivers, allegedly being given tires, we also hearing the eligibility factor of people being given packages. Actually, know of a few, but I'll still say alleged. Because I didn't see the $200 coming from the bag. But anyways, that's a whole other story right there, brothers and sisters. So they were giving people packages with money in there. This is why you saw a number of persons showing up. You mean to tell me that they have done so well that for the 70th anniversary, you need to coax people in to actually bring them in? But you see, it's about the aesthetic to make it look like, oh, they have great support. Oh, wonderful vehicles and tires and so forth. Great support, brothers and sisters, not knowing that each and every one of the individuals who received the package allegedly received $200 in addition to the shirts and stuff that they needed to wear. And then people will see these things and be like, oh, but wait a while. I actually saw somebody making a comment, hey, looks like the DLP is going to win another election. But they don't realize that most of the people that they are not going to be voting, most of the people were paid to be there, most of the people were coaxed to be there as a result of bus drivers allegedly being given tires and this kind of things there. But people don't seem to realize these things right there, and it seems like they're just looking at the surface level of things. We need to go deeper, brothers and sisters, much, much deeper. Anyways, let's continue.
the United Workers' Party is calling each and every one of us home to ensure that we save Dominica for our children.
Country first.
Our children's children. Thank you very much.
Stood thick and thin with the United Workers' Party.
Okay, kudos to you. Let's move on to the next one.
Political leader,
Danny
who
Luby.
will back Thomson.
Mr. PRO, thank you very much for joining us at this pivotal press conference of the United Workers' Party.
So I want to hear the 10 points.
Dominica. Today,
Also, guys, you guys can leave your thoughts and comments in the live chat. You have to be a subscriber for you to be able to leave a live chat, and that's where I will see if you're leaving in the comments. I cannot see anything that you're saying right now, so you have to leave it in the live chat. There's 53 of you guys in the building. I didn't expect all these people to show up since I'm doing this very early, but I suspect I need to do it a bit earlier because a number of persons overseas are tending to watch as well. But please click the thumbs up button as well, guys. Click the like button to help push these videos further and further out there. I would be very much grateful that you would do so. Let's continue.
we stand before you as a united and resolute alternative to the current Dominica Labour Party administration, an administration that for over 2 decades has betrayed the trust of our people through greed, mismanagement,
Facts.
and unrelenting grip on power. Yet, as the scripture reminds us in 2 Corinthians 4, verses 8 to 9, we are hard pressed on every side, but not crushed, perplexed, but not in despair,
Church,
persecuted,
not abandoned.
but not abandoned, struck down,
Not
but
destroyed.
not destroyed. In the face of adversity, the United Workers' Party Team Dominica remains steadfast, united in hands, hearts, and minds, and ready to deliver a bold vision for shared prosperity for every man, woman, girl, and boy in Dominica.
And I don't think when they talk about shared prosperity, they're talking about, oh, this person is working hard and this person is not working hard. And as a result of this, because you guys are Dominicans, somehow that you have to get the same thing. I do not believe. If that is the case, I will not be in that support, because individuals who work hard should not be getting or be sharing the same sentiment with individuals who choose to be lazy. Just like people, and I heard that the Labour Party man was talking about that in the United States. America is a place full of opportunities, and people are just wasting their lives with the Dominican mentality where they sit back and just be lazy and just basking in the abilities of the economy that has been created, not for them, but for those who get to benefit from it. I am not in favor of people who are working hard and then people who are lazy just being shared, sharing the same. No. You work hard, you work hard. You work hard, you play hard. You work hard, you play hard. You work lazy, no playing for you. That's my sentiment right there.
My fellow Dominicans, our nation is at a crossroads. Our healthcare and education systems are crumbling, with horror stories mounting daily. Garbage disposal is mishandled, choking our communities. Our environment and precious resources are plundered by foreign interests under the guise of development. Our farmers are desperate for support, and our youth are fleeing our country in droves, seeking opportunities abroad because their dreams are stifled here in Dominica. Our public officers, police officers, fire officers, doctors, nurses, national employment workers, and our school teachers are serving us courageously, but with shrinking real wages, are finding it increasingly difficult to make ends meet. Our truckers, heavy equipment operators, our masons, carpenters, and unskilled workers alike look on helplessly as the jobs that they are qualified to undertake are being snatched away from them on an almost daily basis.
By foreigners. Can you imagine you voting for individuals to do things for you, and instead they do things for you, brothers and sisters? They're giving the things that they are supposed to do for you to foreigners, and then they begin the foreigners come in, and you have to beg the foreigners for the dregs, brothers and sisters. I think that is very, very sad. When Ross University was there, I know a number of persons might be thinking this. Actually, a number of persons actually indicated that to me as well. When Ross University came, brothers and sisters, although Ross University was bringing in foreign exchange, Ross University was actually Dominican, born and bred in Dominica. This is why when Trump came in 2016, I was trying to bring back schools and a number of businesses to the United States. They actually tried to bring back Ross to the United States, guys. And a number of schools indicated that Ross was not a U.S. school. It was actually a Caribbean Dominican school. And as a result of that, Ross did not enter into the vicinity of the United States. It's Dominicans' own. That was one of the best businesses that could have ever come to Dominica, well, be a part of Dominica. And unfortunately, our very leaders caused Ross to leave because we have a set of incompetent people. Not my words, their words. A set of incompetent people in positions just blood-sucking Dominica dry, man. That's crazy.
Of course, we cannot forget our private sector businesses and workers that are here today and gone tomorrow, like an ever-shifting cloud of dust over a barren land. The cost of groceries, electricity, internet, they're all so high that all of us are crying on an almost daily basis for help.
And on top of that, they put in more fees on your back. Imagine you have to pay for your water and then you have additional fees that you never, no consumption use, you just have additional fees to pay because that's what they say. And you think they're doing things on the benefit of the people or for themselves?
Only the salaries of the ministers and the prime minister, it appears, that are increasing, while all others are stuck. Our civil servants have not been appointed into positions as permanent teachers or police officers.
Can you imagine people working for 10, 15, 20 years, 30 years and never been appointed? Bro, where we be then? You working for 20, 30 years and you've never been appointed, bro. Bro, I don't know.
Their talent and sacrifice often taken advantage of and for granted. The children of the barefoot peasants for which the shoe was supposed to uplift from the pillage of the post-colonial era, they are stuck with doing work within the NEP, and they are paid very little, often very late. Surely, this is not the Dominica we deserve.
Nope.
But let me assure you that the day of shared prosperity is dawning, and the United Workers' Party is here together with a unified opposition movement to lead us toward it. The United Workers' Party Team Dominica has faced immense challenges to reach this moment. We have navigated internal leadership transitions and relentless attacks from a corrupt government determined to silence opposition voices.
And people listening to the corrupt leaders, they listening to the blatant lies. Scared the other day that Thomson them agreed with what he stated. Can you, boy, John.
Our leaders and members have been arrested and thrown into jail and before the courts. But this has only strengthened our resolve. But the night of whipping is over, and the joy of a new dawn bringing in the better days is quickly approaching.
I hope so, Because one thing when you have, and keep in mind, brothers and sisters, I think based off the track record of the United Workers' Party versus, well, the individuals in the United Workers' Party, people like Susu, people like Lennox, people like, Dr. Thomson, Fontaine, these people there, I have no doubt that they can definitely do their thing. Even Monel Williams is doing a thing, no doubt about it, when it comes down to the digital interface. So, there's a lot to be discovered when it comes down to the abilities of the United Workers' Party versus those of the DLP who appear to be, and guys, based on objective reality, who appear to be just placeholders. They're not there to do anything. They're just here to be placeholders, man. And let's Skerrit, who apparently is doing everything. In the last podcast I had, we were talking about the same thing. Because when it comes down to different things and different arenas, you would expect the people who have the proficiency in the ministerial capacity that they have to be speaking. No, they're behind the prime minister, who apparently has all the ministerial capacities right there. You think you can do that in St. Kitts? You think a prime minister can decide, hey, to tell the minister of agriculture what to do? You think that can ever happen? You think the prime minister can go to the education minister and say, hey, I don't like this. Do something. You think that can happen in St. Kitts? That can never happen in St. Kitts because the people have the competence. That is the whole point, brothers and sisters. I think that needs to be in Dominica. It is very sad that this is not the case because the prime minister is doing everything. And then this is why he can boss them around and tell him this and that and tell him, best you close your mouth or something. He can tell him, Mr. Speaker, you are wrong. Those kind of things there.
We are over the worst. And today, I declare that the United Workers' Party Team Dominica is united and ready to deliver on the vision of shared prosperity for all of Dominica.
And they're doing so based on the competence. I see some individuals sending messages. Christopher Sebastian, big up yourself one time. Big up yourself one time. I said that really fast. Good evening, Mr. Lix. Big up yourself. Good evening to you, Christopher. Hendrix Ishmael, big up yourself as well. One of the individuals who are always tuned in on the Mr. Lix reaction. And guys, big up yourself for being a part of this year one. Hendrix is saying, I have been saying that for 20 years. Well, you speaking plenty for 20 years. My goodness. No doubt about it. I myself, 20 years now? I don't think 20 years now. Not in the 20 years. I don't think so. Maybe more or less when I was a little boy. Anyways. Yes. When the British gave us independence, 37 years, we did not ask them training to control our economy. It's only people that's insane that would give billions away. Well, I think that is very true right there. But it's another thing when you're not really giving the billions away. You're telling the people that there's no money, but you're keeping the billions overseas because the people cannot track it. And as a result, we then have to rely on outsiders to tell us, hey guys, something is going on. There's high corruption going on. International people who have no affiliations to Dominica at all is then coming to Dominica to tell Dominicans, hey guys, something is going on with your prime minister and the CBI monies. We have been following corruption in other places and it led us to where? Dominica. This is what, not my words, these are what they're saying. And if they're saying this, brothers and sisters, to the point where European Union have to come to Dominica and say, hey guys, only 25% of the CBI sales was reported to the Dominican people. There's way more out there, to the point where Scary then had to admit, hey, these monies are actually for development. Now, if it's for development of the country, why is he doing outside then? Shouldn't it be inside? Because you're developing the country, therefore the money should be inside. But they know that if it's in...
Before I outline our vision and that roadmap to a sustainable economic growth and a secured future for our people, let me address the recent 70th anniversary of the Labour brand. I say brand because the current DLP has strayed far from the principles of Oliver Edward LeBlanc, Patrick John, Mike and Rosie Douglas, and Pierre Charles. What we see today is a regime that victimizes, ostracizes, and stifles the ambitions of Dominicans. Their style of governance has completely destroyed our middle class, leaving a ruthless group of political elites, a manipulated and suffering lower class that is trapped by programs like the NEP and housing schemes. This is not progress. It is a playbook for poverty, crime, and tyranny. Even our supporters feel threatened and are told that if they hope to make it here in Dominica, they must come cup in hand and publicly declare allegiance to the DLP.
True.
Dominica, we have endured enough. The United Workers' Party Team Dominica is committed to putting our lives on the line to steer this nation toward a brighter future of shared prosperity for all.
And these guys could actually have gone, man. I'm telling you. These guys could actually have gone. And I share the sentiment, brothers and sisters, because I know I myself could have been gone when it comes down to the sentiment right there. I tend to go and come back, because I understand how things work. I understand how things work, brothers and sisters, when it comes down to certain things. But it's just unfortunate that, these individuals who are coming to actually do things for themselves. And if you're good, not for themselves, do things for the country. And if you're actually saying, hey, we want betterment for our country, then why is the other side doing so much to try their best to keep these individuals down, or for them to look bad, or to make up stories, and they believe in it, and the people who should know better are believing the lies that are being told by the other side, man. One of the things and one of the greatest problems that we know we have is in electoral reform. We know the government manipulates electoral reform to suit their favors. And people still believe it's not the electoral reform that is the problem, but it is the opposition, bro. How? How, bruh? These people are playing by the rules which they are supposed to play as, whereas the other one is playing against the rules because they have the ability, whether they have manipulated the justice system to suit their favor, or they have manipulated the electoral process, or whatever it is, brothers and sisters. If when you ask the question, is bribery and cheating even real in Dominica, even though you see it? It's very clear, brothers and sisters. I was part of the treating case. I think I know. I was one of the witnesses. So I think I know, brothers and sisters, when treating is taking place. But then again, they did not define the stuff right there. So earlier on, brothers and sisters, my mic just cut off for some reason or the other, but hopefully you guys understand the sentiment right there. Giving billions away, they're keeping the billions and telling the people there's not much money in Dominica. If the money was in Dominica, you know what could happen? The people will be able to account for the money, and therefore corruption would not take place because you are able to account for the money. One of the things that I noticed in the budget system is that we know that we have budget cycles, brothers and sisters, for budget estimates. But apparently there's no oversight when it comes down to the budgets. Nobody ever asked yourself that question. How do we have budgets? We say we are allocating this amount of money for the budgets. And the next year, we're supposed to have some sort of oversight to see how these monies have been spent. Was it spent properly? What can we do to better spend? Are we buying the wrong things? Are we sending monies in the wrong places? Apparently, none of that seems to happen. We just have the next budget coming through, bro. I think that is dangerous for our country. Christopher Sebastian, that's what Dominicans have been waiting for. I think so. But apparently it's not just what Dominicans have been waiting for, because Scary Dem also know that that's what Dominicans have been waiting for. This is why they removed the whole restrictions on the 5 years business, so that they can have the entire world for them to bring in. You see why they bring, and let me help all you understand something, brothers and sisters. When you see they are bringing in people, paying people to come to their events and this kind of things there because they have failed the people, they're making the aesthetic look like at least, all these people are supporting them. Yay! They know for a fact they're not reliant on these people, brothers and sisters. They know that. They know they are going for thousands upon thousands of people overseas to come and tilt the scale, because they know some of these individuals are not going to be voting at all. This is what the electoral reform was needed to be had needed to be had, brothers and sisters. But since that has been hijacked, this is one of the reasons why I believe that the deputy leader, the deputy political leader, what do you call that again? Paris. This is why Paris had to resign. And I definitely agree that he needed to resign right there for that, because he was not, he did put off great points and all those kind of things there, but he should have said no on the sentiment right there. But that's a whole other story in that regard. No one, Ishmael is asking the question, no one questions who MMC. Yeah. They just give us somebody who come and sign document, and that was it. Nobody questioning who these people are. Did we even have, how did we get associated to this individual? It's like the prime minister is just going out there and doing whatever they want with whomever they want, whether we know or don't know. They bring in people to then sign documents, and people come in and celebrate because they're getting free sandwich and juice. Bruh. And where they came from, the MMC individual, we don't even know. Well, I know his real name. You call him Anthony Hayden. That's not even his real name. So people don't even know his real name. Boy. And he's more powerful than children of slaves whose blood is in the soil. Let's continue.
And today, I am proud to introduce this roadmap that is rooted in a belief that every Dominican deserves a fair shot at success, not just the privileged few. From Capuchin to Kashaku, we will build this country. We will fix it. We will create opportunities, generate wealth, and lift up the people of this great country. Let us outline this roadmap briefly, where each of the 10 pillars that I will address is a stepping stone toward that shared prosperity that we're speaking about. Number one, economic empowerment through fair wages and salaries. We will ensure better pay for our working class by initiating an increase in the minimum wage to $12 an hour from current levels.
I think that's a good idea. Don't you think so?
Public servants will realize significant increases in their salaries to keep up with inflation. And as we transform the NEP program into a skills building and training program, their wages will also grow to reflect that reality.
That's a good thing. It's kind of like when the business is doing well and gives you bonuses and this kind of things. I think that is a good thing. So if the minimum wage is at already $12, brothers and sisters, bringing it up on the merit that then the businesses then do well, especially when it comes down to agriculture and a number of things that I think Dominica can actually put forth, then we get to benefit. And I think that is one of the ways where individuals will feel like, hey, this is not just, some place that I'm working at. They will feel a level of not family. Family is not the word I'm looking for. They will feel a level of ownership, so to speak. Because if you know you're getting bonuses on the company doing really well, you will try your best to ensure that the company does really well so you can get your extra bonus. Not true? So everybody puts their foot to the pedal and they pedal, man. That's how it should be.
These actions will ensure that every Dominican can live within dignity and provide sufficiently for the
families. Yes. Why should the people that you elect be talking about that they want to be your father and what your mother and your father cannot do for you, and they're the ones causing your mother and father not to do for you, and they tell you boldface what your mother and your father can't do for you, we will do for you? What kind of independent life is that? I mean, Dominicans only need to wake up and smell the roses. And sometimes you need to feel the prickle in the roses too, because some of all you, I don't know what's going on with some of all you. My goodness gracious. What your mother and father can do for you will do for you. And all you clapping that. Just like when the Prime Minister talking about they can send their children overseas or ask them, what about you? And the people clapping. This is why for me it's not about party politics, brothers and sisters. It's about country. I side with the United Workers Party because I believe they can do well. If they come in and they form in the royal donkey, I will be against them, or I'll strongly say what I need to say. I think that is how people need to be. It's not about I support DLP and I support United Workers Party and this kind of thing. It's not about that. It's I support the country. And if people are doing things for the country, then yeah, good, kudos. Let's see how we can make that better. And if they're not, they need to go at their mother home. That's what they need to do, brothers and sisters. Anyways, let's continue. I see a number of you guys sending messages. I'll get into your messages in a moment.
Number 2, tax reform for wealth creation. We will overhaul the tax system.
It needs to be overhauled.
Revise VAT rates downwards.
I think St. Kitts overhauled their tax. It used to be high. I think they brought it down by 5% or something of that sort. So that means more money in the hands of the people. More money in the hands of the workers, more money in the hands of the people that sell goods, and more money in the hands of the individuals overall. Because then you get to create entrepreneurial capacity because you have more spending power. More money in your hands means you have more spending power to then facilitate. Some people tend to learn different skills because they're checking, boy, I don't have monies to waste like that. What about the individuals who already have the skills and they're checking, boy, I have the extra $100 and this person charging me $20, $30. Hey, I can give that person a job to do, thus creating a surplus in the economy and increasing the abilities for people to do more things. That is how you create entrepreneurial capacity, not the government saying, hey, let's do something for entrepreneurial capacity. And absolutely nothing has been done, just talking. That's it. You need the economy, you need the viability factor for entrepreneurship to work.
Remove the suffocating import duties and provide duty-free incentives to build homes and businesses.
Hand clap.
And overall, we will reduce the tax burden on our people. Right. These actions will stimulate entrepreneurship and business growth.
I just said that.
Revive the private sector, rebuild the middle class, and promote economic growth. Thirdly, healthcare and education transformation. Efficient and responsive. Well-equipped and supplied medical centers will make use of our trained doctors both at home and abroad. This will be complemented by a national health insurance program.
That is good though, but I think individuals should also have the ability for them to buy their own insurance. National health is important. Health insurance is important. I think that is a good thing, especially when it comes down to people who have children, people who are working for the government. I think it's very much applicable for them, because they're working for the government, that would be pretty good. But individuals should also have the ability for them to buy their own health insurance with whomever that is sick. Not saying that they are against this. He's just talking about something specifically, but I am also indicating that I think that is also a good thing right there. Let me get to some of the comments. Christopher is saying, very good question. Who is MMCE? Indeed. No, that's why we're asking about the so-called Canadian company who will be doing the lighting of the stadium. They actually gave the contract to a Dominican. Now they're going to a Canadian to do the same thing that they gave the Dominican who indicated that they could have done this. What is going on, brothers and sisters? What is going on? What is going on? We could have had lighting a long time. The very contractor indicated that and stated that, hey, something is going on. And when Matt asked him the question, who would be able to answer the question? Would government, and I think Matt twisted, kudos to Matt for that one right there. Because that's probably what I would have done when it comes on to asking that question. He asking, would the government know who would be able to answer the question? And the contractor stated yes. Now they're going after a Canadian contractor based on what the individual is saying there to light the stadium, and we could have had it done long time ago, even before World Cup cricket. I mean, Dominicans, you guys don't seem to see what is going on. I think the Canadian contractor is coming in so that the government can get their cut. That's what I think is happening. They put the Dominican there. They realize, hey, we probably would not be able to get a cut from this. We have the monies from CBI overseas for development, you know. But if we do that, we will not be able to get our cut. So we need to get somebody from outside to come in. And when that person comes in, does the job, we pay the person outside, then we get our cut outside. Isn't it a huge possibility that is what might definitely take place right there? Kudos on the lighting understanding right there. Hendricks, during slavery, when the masters got sick, the slaves used to say, we are sick too. Who really enjoys paradise? It's the foreigners. Yeah. And sometimes the slave masters are not the colonizers, you know. One of the things that we always tend to look for, the white man come to do this and the white man come to do that. No. Sometimes the very people, according to slavery, and this is why history is so important, brothers and sisters, the reason why slavery happened was because of the very same black people who traded their own brothers and sisters for cloth and gunpowder and nonsense, brothers and sisters. Trading human life for meager things. One of the things I always believe in, brothers and sisters, when it comes down to finance, money. Money has no real value, you know. It has applied value. Oh, we say this $10 based off legal. This is why it's called legal tender. Because the law states that this is worth this amount. You know? Oh, the $5 is worth $5. That's what it's worth. Even though it literally in reality is worth nothing at all. But because the law says this worth, then we can trade and do all sorts of things. And people are literally giving up their lives for this thing, man. When it comes down to real value versus what is fake, it seems like the people always tend to choose the fake value because it's on a basis of understanding what I can get for myself. Greed is a factor right there. Yeah. So let's not look outside. Let's look internal. Sometimes the very people who look like me and you are the ones that are causing us to suffer. Juliet Coffee, big up yourself, Juliet. Sunday greetings to each and every one. You know, Juliet, I appreciate you for being here in this here live interaction reaction, no doubt about it. Guys, I have to make a mention. I saw individuals clicking the thumbs up button. I appreciate you guys definitely doing so. 64 of you guys are in the building. Don't forget to click the thumbs up button. I would appreciate that right there. Hendricks is also saying the red suits we wear in Dominica, why wasn't it made locally? That's another question right there. If you're talking about entrepreneurship and businesses, why was it made outside? And then coming to give people packages for them to go and celebrate and say, hey, 70 years of what? They cannot tell you. I was asking some people that questions, you know, brothers and sisters. What are we celebrating? 70 years of what? Someone can't tell me. I wish I could put some of them on camera, brothers and sisters. But a lot of people were kind of shy to come on my camera when I went to the 70th anniversary thing right there. So they're printing all sorts of things. Everything they're doing outside, brothers and sisters. And not in Dominica, and they wonder why people are making noise about it. Juliet Coffee. Hi, Mr. Licks. Well, yeah. Appreciate you. No doubt about it. Yeah. Oh, I have to continue reading Hedrick stuff. So the red suits we wear in Dominica, why wasn't it made locally? People are marching to remain in poverty. That's exactly what they're doing. It should be who makes millions and then the party. All we are doing is supporting party. Is who is elevating the country. When the country is elevating and the economy is a social, not just social standing, but it stands financially, brothers and sisters, then we all will benefit from it. Those who are lazy obviously wouldn't get nothing. Or they might just be like the people in the United States who just benefit just from the economy itself. But those who work hard and want to see the betterment for themselves will have the opportunities for them to elevate, no doubt about it. Christopher Sebastian, that just from 2 million to 13 million is ridiculous. You're right. Talk about the lighting situation. Hendricks, if we control most companies, we will bring back our people, pay taxes, health insurance. Guys, one thing is with me, I'm not an advocate for taxes at all. I understand how taxes came about. I understand what was taking place back then. More money was flowing before taxes. I think taxes make the government lazy. Because if the government knows it put in taxes for whatever you do, you put it on your income, they put it on sales, then that means they don't have to go out there and find markets for the people. That makes the government lazy. That's my viewpoint on it, because I understand where it came from. In the United States, it started with 2% milk, and the people were completely rioting in the place to the point when they never accept it. Brothers and sisters, human beings are creatures of repetition. If you bombard them constantly with something over and over and over, they will gradually start accepting it. That is a psychological thing that people do. And we've seen what the government is doing, especially when they are paying people allegedly to come to their events. Interesting stuff. Yeah. So I don't think we should control the companies. I think companies should run freely. But let's continue. Christopher, that's a chance for the Canadians to investigate the double murder. You know they keep that under hush-hush already. Already. Yeah. So, what is happening with that now? Can any one of you guys tell me what is happening with the double murder business? Because that seems to have gone quiet. Are these people even in Dominica? We had a whole hoopla and court case and so forth and bail and so forth. What is happening, brothers and sisters? That is the question right there. Okay. Juliet, I didn't know Dr. Thomson was your cousin. So kudos on that right there. That's a good cousin to have, eh? Although talking about cousin, that partner, what's his name? Another Fontaine guy. Jason Fontaine. Well, they always say you have the good cousin and the bad cousin. That's what I have to say right there. Christopher, keep your eyes open. My eyes always open. Anyways, guys, let's continue a little bit more right there.
Our education system will be modernized. Our students trained in math, languages, science, and social disciplines. We will equip our people with the tools to compete globally, ensuring that no one is left behind.
That's one of the things that is lacking in Dominica. Right now, brothers and sisters, AI taking over, and nobody teaching nobody how to use AI. Nobody teaching anybody how to use AI in Dominica. And AI is taking over the boy. Bruh. And Minister of Education. Kasa.
Number 4, our Kalinago people, tourism and environmental protection. We will safeguard and promote the uniqueness of our Kalinago people while developing an ecotourism product that is unequaled around the globe. Our culture and unique music, including our bouillon, will be encouraged and promoted globally, thus creating unlimited opportunities for our youth.
Hopefully it's not nasty business. Hopefully it's not nasty. You guys know I'm not a nasty business kind of person. I think this music is kind of insane right there. But let's continue.
In particular, fifthly, we will establish agriculture, water, and manufacturing sectors. The United Workers' Party Team Dominica government will empower our agricultural sector with resources, training, and market access, honoring the sacrifice of our farmers.
And science. I learned from Glenroy Soso Coffee, that agriculture is not just about tolling land and say you're planting seeds and, tree growing and you pick from the tree. No. Agriculture is an entire science. That is an entire science right there, brothers and sisters. You guys need to go and listen to that podcast that I had with Glenroy Soso Coffee right there. On the same channel, this channel right there, brothers and sisters, BRBPTV podcast. Look for that playlist and then scroll down. You'll see Dr. Glenroy Coffee. Definitely check him out right there. Puff. Oh my God. The stuff that he was talking about right there. Boy.
New job opportunities will be created through the development of a strong agro-processing sector and revamping of our essential oils industry. Our rural communities will flourish and grow again as we build the factories and required infrastructure.
Factories is definitely needed. Skerritt's excuse for why factories are not needed is dumb like. Electricity will be high, which means that the Prime Minister knows that electricity is already high. That's why they don't want to build factories. Well, that's an excuse that they're using, but inadvertently telling the people that they know that the electrical bill is high. Mere fact, you don't want to create factories because the electricity bill is high. Say so what you think about the people who have to pay it. I don't care about these people. I don't want to build factories because the electricity bill is high, forgetting that the people are already paying these high electricity bills. Brothers and sisters, one thing with me, when you say I understand a number of things, I try my best to get them. One of the things that I have is a technology, because where you plug it in and it kind of deciphers your electricity right there. So it doesn't go all over the place. It deciphers it, and as a result, you end up paying less money because of this technology. I learned this stuff in the United States, so I got it myself and I organized myself. You guys definitely want me to send a message or something, so I can definitely let you guys know. I wonder if I would have it. The link. I will have to look for the link, brothers and sisters, where I got this stuff. And trust me, it helps. Anyways, let's continue.
New avenues will be sourced to access and export our water across the globe. Our fishing industry will be resurrected and strengthened.
I find you pass over that very fast with Thomson. Water is needed across the world, especially in places. Can you imagine we selling water to desert regions? Can you imagine that? Can you imagine how much billions of dollars we'd make, guys? All we have to do is bottle the water. Well, we need factories to purify the water and so forth, and so filter the water and whatever. Osmosis or whatever they call it, brothers and sisters, to get it clean, as pure as possible, and then, without destroying the nutritional value of it. Can you imagine us selling water to desert regions, because we have 365 rivers, but we have to first take care of the rivers. That's the first thing, because we need to revamp our rivers again. Our rivers are drying up. Only when we see storms, we check in, but where all this water come from? We need to preserve our rivers.
Develop.
Create dams so we can create hydroelectricity. We'd have to be constantly relying on the government telling us about geothermal. There are solar farms in St. Kitts. All across the Caribbean, brothers and sisters, you go in St. Lucia, have a set of fans. Guadeloupe. You can literally go in Scottsdale and look at Guadeloupe, and you see the fans turning. You see, even in the night, brothers and sisters, you see them red thing beeping. That's the fans. Spinning, giving the people them electricity. On top Salisbury, we have serious wind. You don't tell me we can put a number of turbines up there to give the people of Salisbury electricity. We have the Atlantic Ocean. Brothers and sisters, we are smack that bad in the middle of the Caribbean Sea and the Atlantic Ocean. We can use the ocean currents to generate electricity for the whole of Dominica. No, we so constantly focus on trying to give other people electricity. That's what the government is doing, with geothermal. Let's see if we can get geothermal in Dominica so we can give other people. I think one of the reasons why we end up failing is because we tend to focus on outsiders, not internally. Because if the people, just like business I mentioned earlier, guys, if the people in the business are doing well, what do you think they're going to be doing? They're going to be promoting the business. Hey, that's a great place to work. Come, I get benefits. I come. If the people in Dominica were benefiting as a result of the government taking care of them, they'll be like, hey, guys, come. Come, I'm benefiting. Come and enjoy. You mean to tell me you have friends and family out there and you're enjoying yourself and you're not telling them to come and join in? That's not your friends and family, brothers and sisters. That's your enemy. But we know that Dominica is not doing well right now. And as a result of not doing well, we're not telling anybody come. In fact, I'm one of the individuals telling people go, because there's a better chance outside there for them to elevate when it comes down to better economic standing and opportunities. And inadvertently, when they elevate themselves, they can send monies down to Dominica to further help the country. Kind of doing like what China tends to do. They go to other countries. What the Haitians tend to do, they go to other countries. And then they send millions upon millions of dollars back. That is my understanding of why I keep telling people to go. Because they not just elevate themselves, they also get to contribute back. It's very unfortunate that has taken place in Dominica, but it has to. It has to.
A canning fish industry. All of that will translate to more jobs, more opportunities, and more ways to share in the prosperity.
Remember, Scary say, be $45,000 per day for fishing. So if we can in somebody's $45,000, brothers and sisters, we can probably make $90,000 per day. What are you saying?
Youth opportunity and retention. Number 6, we'll create opportunities for wealth creation to keep our youth in Dominica by fostering innovation and entrepreneurship. We will utilize the knowledge-based industry, occupy our young minds in innovation and drive so that the dreams of our youth will be restored.
And Dominica has the ideal opportunity to do that, you know, guys. Because we are relatively don't have the level of struggle the rest of the world has, so to speak. We have the struggle economically, but that's it. That's our main struggle. We don't have food struggle, brothers and sisters. We don't have, what do you call that? I don't want to say the T word, but you know what happened with 9/11. We even though, you know, certain people might have our passports as a result of scary, but we don't necessarily have the certain things. Dominica is generally safe, you know. So I think, you know, let's just continue, guys. Let's just.
Infrastructure for progress. From proper waste management to modernized public services, we will invest in infrastructure that uplifts every community. We shall rebuild the feeder roads, open up new lands for farming and agriculture, as well as other commercial activities. Renewable energy development. We will harness our renewable energy potential of hydro, solar, wind, and geothermal.
Guys, I think where we faltered on firstly, because I just mentioned that, I think where we faltered firstly is to look at geothermal. Geothermal should have been last. We should have looked at solar because we have a lot of sun. We should look at wind. We should look at hydro, both the wave and the rivers that flow so strongly. The waterfalls. But to set up dams, you have set up, brothers and sisters, you can have dams and you have probably 8 of these things running on one dam because you have the water constantly flowing. And 8 of these things turning in these turbines, brothers and sisters, can just generate electricity. I see people making little hydro. They have a little stream flowing and they're making a little motor and everything and they put in that on that, and that's what lighting the yard. People literally making do it yourself hydro plants in little streams that flow in, and it brightening up their yard. It charging batteries, all these kind of things there in the night time, it constantly flow, and they putting on the lights. I mean, if we can do that little thing, you need to tell me Dominica flowing in 365 rivers, and we're not doing that at all. We're not looking to create dams. And keep in mind, brothers and sisters, when you create dams, it also helps with the flooding system that we've seen happening, you know. Because if you create dams at a certain level and the river goes at less, let's say you create a dam at 20 feet, right? And the river normally flows at 5 feet. When there's flooding happening, brothers and sisters, it can climb up. All you have to do is open the other areas so that water can flow out. And it'll fill the gaps and guide the water properly. We wouldn't have flooding problems like we saw in Calibishi. Create dams, my good. Bro, I don't know how.
To radically reduce the cost of electricity and attract foreign companies, looking to establish artificial intelligence data centers. AI.
I just talk about AI.
Our cheap electricity generation.
And before you continue, guys, you know another thing we can do? Bitcoin mining. If we have hydro plants generating electricity, we can literally use some of the plants to just mine Bitcoin. Put a set of machines there to mine Bitcoin for Dominica and bring in more and more and more money. Is that so? Last week?
Will also be a magnet for companies.
Oh, sorry. Let me read some of the comments right there. Sorry, guys. So Hendrik Ismail, we should have an open government where every citizen should have full access to everything government. That's what the government is. The government isn't the people that we put in power, you know, brothers and sisters. Government is a representation. Those we see at the top is a representation from the people. The government is the people. And you don't want 10,000 people going in the government. This is why the people send somebody to represent them. So somebody from the people comes to be the government to represent the people within the constituencies. The people are the government. The people at the top are not the government, you know, brothers and sisters. They are representative of the government itself, who are the people. I don't think people understand this, you know. It's not what they tell us that they want. It's what we tell them to do for us. All you don't understand how the government works, brothers and sisters. It is the people who tell them what we want to see. And the consensus will then say, okay, that makes sense. And then they put things and debate it and all those kind of things there. That's what debate is about. When you go to parliament and they're talking nonsense in parliament, you're checking that's not a representative of the people. The people put the ideas for the representatives who can represent them. And if they think that something is good, they then debate it amongst themselves. That's what the whole system is. We do not start from the top down, brothers and sisters. We start from the people up. And that is not what we're seeing. Yes, so that's my point right there. Anyway, Jerry Nelson, big up yourself one time. I'm here, not the whole 70 years, but years under scared is lies. Facts. I think under Rosie, Rosie Douglas would have been a good individual for the people right there. Although he had some socialist understandings, but I see why he had them. But he was slowly gravitating outward of that so that the people who benefit and work hard can then elevate. And, you know, yes, sir. All right. Catherine Fontaine, big up yourself. Right there watching from the UK, United Kingdom. I guess you're a cousin of Dr. Fontaine. I guess if you're a cousin or some family member, then let me know right there. Hendricks is saying from agriculture alone, we can make millions. Yes. Not just millions, no, sir. From agriculture alone, we can make billions upon billions upon billions of dollars. I remember when they brought the cannabis understanding to Dominica, and Skerrit came on stage and tell the people that the cannabis industry is not a growth factor for Dominica. The cannabis industry, if we had did it, brothers and sisters, there would not be people in Dominica to sustain it. We would need to go and get people from overseas to come into Dominica to help sustain just the cannabis industry alone. And in its infancy, brothers and sisters, if we did it a long time ago, Dominicans would have a lot, probably have billionaires too. There would be a lot of millionaires in Dominica for sure. But apparently the government knows this and does not want to elevate the people. This is why they came and tell the people that it's not a growth factor for Dominica. Agriculture is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Look at St. Vincent. St. Vincent doesn't deal in CBI. Dominica has way more resources when it comes down to agriculture, but apparently Dominica doesn't do agriculture. We're only doing the dregs of it. St. Vincent is participating in it.
To set up additional factories and manufacturing operations here in Dominica. We will become the center of manufacturing because of our cheap energy that will make available to the rest of the world. Social equity and inclusion. We will dismantle manipulative policies and build a society where every Dominican has a voice and a stake. Our elderly and those vulnerable among us will be cared for and cherished. We will establish a welfare system that is separate from political interference and built solely on need. And finally, transparent governance. We will root out corruption and establish a government that serves the people and that is accountable to them at all times. No more cocoa macaque and utterances of none of your damn business.
How a government can tell you it's none of your damn business when you put him there to do things for you. I just never understood that. Sometimes these people are doing things and you check about where you get that money from now. You're a servant of the people. You tell him it's not your business. Okay.
We'll be a responsible government that is answerable to the people of this country, who will be treated with dignity and respect at all times. My fellow Dominicans, these 10 pillars are not mere promises. They are our solemn commitment to you, the people of Dominica, grounded in
and it's very much doable, you know, guys. It's very much doable.
faith and action.
Because these are Dominica. There's a lot of potential in Dominica. And what is mentioned is the potential of Dominica. We just need to utilize the potential to turn this potential into opportunities. We have these things just sitting there. I see leaves falling from trees, brothers and sisters. I go to America and the same leaves they have making milk. Not milk, but juice. Things we're throwing away. They can take these things and make these things. And That's why it's important for people to travel, guys. When you travel, you get to see a number of things and say, hey, but we can do that in Dominica. We can do that in Dominica. We can, but apparently, that's not the case. Let me continue the messages, guys. The messages. So Hendricks was saying from agriculture alone we can make millions. Coconut water is coming far away from Thailand. We are very close to the largest market. So he's right. Tomatoes coming from Israel on planes, fishing. Jerry Nelson in Freedom Time. Dominica used to sell water to SM. It should be able to still do so, said Martino Rivers, from my understanding. Anyway, Jet Hurricane. First time I'm seeing that person. Wind energy here would be a waste. You would have to explain that for me, because wind energy is pretty much all over the Caribbean. In Dominican Republic, we see a set of turbines. When we went on the aerial tram, you could see just a set of wind turbines just all over the place, just spinning, helping to lessen energy cost. Hendricks is saying we can create millionaires in a few years if we do it right. One farmer can raise 500 birds, pigs. We have water. We can sell air. Air is a multi-million-dollar industry, guys. They bottle in the air and they're selling it to polluted places like China. When I saw that, that blew my mind. And I'm on top mountains breathing in nice air and I checking, but we can bottle this air. You think the air is going to run out when we bottle in it, brothers? Then people go in and they put in air by seaside. Bottling that for people to feel like they're by the ocean. When you spray it in the bottle and breathe that in. Bottle air. We can bottle air. Boy. Oh my goodness. Fontaine is sounding the alarm that he's ready. Sounds like he's real. I just hope, guys, this is one of the reasons why I tell individuals to share these videos. You don't even have to share my videos. Share the one on MO News so that other people can see it as well, because a number of persons have been saying, hey, what is the viability factor? What is what they're saying? And they're out there saying what they really want to do. And it seems like people just don't want to listen for some reason. And they come back with the same nonsense over and over. What are they saying? Well, this is one of the reasons why I'm doing a reaction on this one right there. Man, before I continue, yeah, he sung the alarm. If one African in Nigeria can employ 60,000 people with a loan of 25,000 from his uncle, we have enough educated people to employ 70,000. I am telling you, guys, this is not hearsay, I saw the plans when it comes down to the cannabis industry. Dominica does not have enough people. We have a lot of land. Dominica still does not have enough people. If all people work in the cannabis industry, we still would not have enough people to do it. We would need to go and get people from overseas, which means that the unemployment rate in Dominica would be 0. Let me say that again. The cannabis industry alone, on its hiring ability, brothers and sisters, as a result of 5 years' time, Dominica would not be able to sustain the amount of Dominica would not be able to have enough people in Dominica if everybody in Dominica was working in the cannabis industry to continue sustaining it. We need to go and get people from overseas. Just in the cannabis industry alone. That means individuals who want to come from overseas to come and work in Dominica, not just on the merit of saying, hey, I just come to work a 9 to 5, but having an adequate salary as a result of an industry that is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Far beyond CBI. Far beyond CBI. They are Catholic nuns. Well, they dress like nuns. They call themselves the cannabis nuns, I think. The cannabis nuns. They are doing a small thing, brothers and sisters. A small thing. And they are millionaires, each of them. All of them are millionaires. They dress like nuns, bruh, and have a small thing running in Canada. And all of them are millionaires, bruh. They don't have to do much work. They have a few people that they hire and they do their thing, whatever. And they come in and they sniff in their thing. Oh, this is this and this is it. And you see, I saw the documentary of that. That blew my mind, man. Anyways, let me continue with the messages. Yeah, so if you can definitely do so. Mango is saying we had to create union back when even the coconut farmer worked with Copra Bakery to the soap. We have these things now. Well, the thing in what do you call that? Jimit, Maho. I even forget the name. Just to tell you, thing next to Breezy Mat. Breezy Mat? No, not far from Breezy Mat. Anyways, to soap factories, etc., all that long gone. Yeah, we had Coca-Cola factory in Dominica. I myself was wondering if I remember Coca-Cola factory. I knew growing up, little boy had Coca-Cola factory. I was seeing the red truck passing back and forth with the glass bottles, not the plastic bottles, the glass ones. We had these things that gone. Coca-Cola factory closed down in Dominica. Coca-Cola. Boy. Let me see. So he gave the 10 points, guys. I'm just going to try and go through these things right there. Hendricks is saying again, in North America, people want everything that's grown in the tropics. From sea, yeah. A lot of the people are looking. One of the things when, as America is getting richer and richer on the understanding, you notice that they try their best to see if they can eat healthier. This is one of the reasons why I like what is his name? Robbie Kennedy Jr. Yeah, he's one of the individuals that's definitely pushing natural remedies. And as people are getting that understanding because they realize how sick America is, the big, you know, PHARME. Them people that are trying to make people sick. So they're trying to turn the whole thing over. But it's interesting to do that because that's a difficult task, because then you have the lobbyists behind them, and not the lobbyists behind them, you have this what I just called behind the lobbyists, and not just the lobbyists, but some of the politicians as well, who are getting monies from these people to do their bidding. When I went up in California sometime, we were learning about the economy and how the economy works when it comes down to the individuals. Sometimes they say it's fair even if elections were to happen, because if you have a set of fishermen in that economy and they are voting for somebody, they usually vote for somebody who's going to cater to their fishing needs. And then you have another part of the population who is not benefiting from the fishing company, because fishing individual, because their representative is for fish, because you have most of the individuals fishing. So I think that is a thing that we need to look at when it comes into the aspect right there. This is why you have a set of ministers in different capacities doing a number of things, and I think individuals need to listen when it comes on to that right there, because apparently we are, what is the word? We have sidetracked from what it should be when it comes on to Dominica. Yeah, so a Judd hurricane, I just heard that it's a harmful to birds. Also considered our location is a path for hurricanes that will probably cost us a lot to repair. When it comes down to the turbines, I would have to say yes. But keep in mind, it's not just Dominica. Hurricanes pass through. Hurricanes pass through St. Lucia. It pass through a number of places. And these things, I'm not saying that they might not mash up or whatever, but, you know, and you're saying harmful to birds because it's spinning and the birds might pass and hit it and this kind of things there. That's true. But when it comes down to, you know, hurricanes and this kind of things there, I mean, doesn't seem to be affecting other countries because they keep having them. So I just think it's a way to look at it. And besides, you can build these things at a certain height where the birds can fly below them. Yeah. So anyways, let's continue.
They represent a vision of shared prosperity where no one is left behind and every citizen can thrive and achieve. Indeed, the time for collective prosperity is knocking at our doors, our minds, and in our hearts. In the coming days and weeks, we will take this message and vision to the people across this beautiful land of ours and also in the diaspora. We firmly believe.
Because they need to know. They need to know, man. But they need to listen. They need to go and say, hey, what are you saying about this? And then go and listen to what you're saying.
That there is a great role to be played by our people who happen to be living overseas in building on this vision. Yes, for you that are listening now in the diaspora, we want you to return to your country, to retire, to set up businesses, and otherwise to contribute to this vision.
Another reason why I tell people to go is on the merit that they will eventually come back after making their millions they can then come back and bring that money down to Dominica to facilitate the economy. So it's not just me telling people go as if I hate Dominica. No. I understand how things work. That's one of the things you have to understand in life, brothers and sisters, is how things work. And if you know that Dominica is not doing well at present, then you need to tell people go over to better economic standings to then develop themselves, contribute to that country. And when you've made it, you can then come back to help facilitate your country. And not just on the merit of you saying you're facilitating your country, but it's people, the next generation, to make them better off than, I think that is the whole life of in fact, that is how nature is. Nature, when there's certain circumstances that happen, it adapts to what is presented in nature and it becomes stronger. How on earth human want to be regressing? Why are humans on the understanding of trying to go back? Even the United States at present, United States, the college educated individuals are worse. This is the first time in history that the next generation is worse than the previous generation. I wonder how far back that is in Dominica. I don't think it's that far back. Because this generation is far worse than the previous generation. The previous generation of individuals were building their own house cash. How many youth today building their house cash, brothers and sisters? How many people are going to get loans to try to build a house to hope? I know a particular individual who's trying his best to build his house. Last week, he tried his best to build his house. I know another one just came to mind right there. But these people are in their 30s and the 50s. 30s and 50s, the two individuals I'm thinking of. Trying their best to build a house. They don't know how they're going to make it, but they're trying their best. Because at least they can see if for my children, at least if I leave, I can leave a house for them. Can you imagine that? You don't say you want to leave generational wealth. You're saying at least I can leave a house for them. That is the state in Dominica. And most people don't have that mind frame, Most people not thinking that way.
On Thursday and starting this week, we meet with the people of the Rosenhoff constituency at the Fontaine Community Center. And that begins at 6:30 p.m.
That's the video I reacted to when Mr. X reacts. I think I'll be doing more of it right there. In this coming week, there's a number of factors that he was talking about. He actually mentioned some of the things that is stated right there. So I'll be reacting to it. I think some of the videos are on Dominica Breaking News, so you guys can definitely check it out right there. But I'll be doing a reaction on, I think, probably 2 or 3 more of them right there. So let's continue.
But before this meeting at 6:30 p.m., we would like to invite you to join us on the ground there in Fontaine from 1 o'clock. And in the Rosenhoff constituency, as we begin to share this message in every home, in every hamlet, in every village, in every town, in all of Dominica.
That's a good thing that they're doing.
We will continue with those town halls in various constituencies every other Thursday from now on.
You guys need to come to Portsmouth as well.
We are ready, Dominica. We are united. We are committed. And we will succeed. Yes. So let me tell you in closing that the United Workers' Party, Team Dominica, we are ready to lead with courage, with integrity, and action. Together, we shall rebuild our nation into one where opportunity flourishes, dreams are realized, and prosperity is shared by all. Join us, Dominica, on this journey. Let's take back our country and build Dominica to the point that we believe it should be and that we all deserve.
We have to bring back Dominica to where it was, because Dominica fell from grace. Even though it's interesting that Dominica has raised the most amount of money when it comes down to the CBI program. I think its entire present history, I would have to say. But it seems like raising this amount of money is Dominica has become poorer and poorer. How strange is that? That Dominica is raising way more money than it has ever raised in its present history. Yet still Dominica is poor as toenails, man. Poor as toenails, bro. Because most of that money is going to the high echelon of people and not coming to the Dominican people. or that money is being put overseas where the people cannot touch it. You don't know how much money is raised. You calculate, realize, hey, there's a few $1 billion missing when it comes down to what is taking place based off the CBI funds and passports sold. Calculations, these monies are outside there. And Dominicans, for things to get better, you have to want it, I don't think people realize that. For things to get better, you have to actually want it to get better. Not just say, oh boy, that's how things are. You know what people tell me when I tell them things can actually get better in Dominica? They say, but mistakes, but other places terrible too. Really? That is the best outcome you have? Dominica full of potential and you tell me, but other places are terrible too? We're not utilizing our resources. You tell me other places are terrible. Resources that the other places do not have. We're already doing much better than Dominica. Dominica has way more resources than them. We're doing worse than them and you tell me they're doing bad. So we cannot do better than them. I just never understood them kind of understanding there. Let me read some of the comments that people say. I think they're going to be going into a question and answer. We'll get some of that right there, guys. Let me see. Where was I? Hendrik is saying our products are needed globally. They don't grow cocoa in cold countries. We actually have coffee. They're actually trying to use coffee as a luxury item from Dominica. And when I asked one of the individuals, I did a podcast with him, so it's not just me saying what I want. I asked them about the government involvement. He's trying to coax it because he says he don't want to get involved in this whole situation. I say, bro, we've been real here. Tell me, what was the government involvement in this? And he tell me there's not much. Foreigners coming to help Dominican people. Trying to get the help of the government. Because I know I brought them to the office of the Prime Minister, already. I did it myself when they came. I think the first time they came, I was the one who brought them. We were on the trip somewhere. We were in Trafalgar and what have you. And we came back. And I brought them for the meeting that they would have with the Prime Minister's office. On the whole coffee thing. They won a prize for that when they brought back the information. Realizing that Dominica has a lot of potential. And nothing doing. So there's a lot, as I indicated before, there's a lot of possibilities for Dominica, especially for coffee as well, cocoa and these kind of things that you rightly indicated right there. Where was I? Our products are needed globally. They don't grow cocoa in cold countries. Mexico export $1 billion worth of avocado and the U.S. needs more. We can also be part of that market, but, the government is trying its best to keep the people down. If not, what your mother and father cannot, already. Or people must become big thinkers and think of big ideas of becoming millionaires and stop matching in red for peanuts. Yes. Because you know why people like the peanuts? Because the peanuts apparently come free. It always comes with a price, brothers and sisters. Nothing in this life comes free. It comes with a price. But because you don't have to work as hard for it, brothers and sisters, you give up your own sovereignty for breadcrumbs. I would rather give up, I would never give up my sovereignty for nothing, but people giving up their sovereignty freedom for breadcrumbs because the breadcrumbs they think is free. One way or the other, you have to pay for it, You're just paying for it with your own freedom. This is why people have to stay quiet when they give them houses. The psychology of human misjudgment, according to Hendricks, is being used on the people of Dominica by all your favorite prime minister. Martel is saying, I am watching from Tampa, Florida. Big up the Tampa, Florida massive right there. Hendricks again, if our people are educated, they would know that they can own every company in their country and have the foreigners work for them. Well, if there's shares, if there's ability of shares, then you can definitely do so, no doubt about it. One of the things that you can do in the United States, you can actually have shares and get dividends. Some dividends pay out yearly, some dividends pay out every 3 months, some dividends pay out every month. So all you have to do is just buy shares in these companies and you get your monies from this. Free money. I call it free money right there. If you're in the United States, I would urge individuals to, should I say it now? Okay, you guys should buy shares in Apple, buy shares in Starlink, and buy shares in Walmart. Okay? Don't say I didn't tell you guys. All right, then. The world is a big place. It's very easy to understand it if you listen. That's all I'm saying right there. We should ask ourselves a very simple question. Why in the Caribbean foreigners can come in and make millions and the natives have to beg them for jobs? Well, one of the things for jobs, one of the things that is happening is because the government themselves are most likely getting a cut from the foreigners and they're making sure that they keep the people poor. For example, when Clay Harbor came, Clay Harbor wanted to pay the people in US dollars. And the government told them, no, pay them in EC dollars. Can you imagine you making $1,000 US, brothers and sisters, per month? That's about $2,700. Versus making $1,150 EC. The government did this because they said that they're fearful that the people who work in the government would then leave the government jobs to go and work in Clay Harbor. Don't you think that would be monies coming in to facilitate the entrepreneurial process in Dominica? You choose to make the people stay poor. And when I say these things, sometimes I just wonder if people are listening to what I say, you know. These people chose to let the people, the company wanted to pay the people in US dollars, you know. Not the government saying, hey, I think you should pay them in US dollars. No. The company came down saying that they want to pay the locals in US dollars. And the government, who is representing the best interest of the people, is telling them, no, pay them in EC dollars because we are fearful that the government workers would leave the jobs. Brothers and sisters, Dr. Thomson Fontaine make an interesting point the last time I listened to him. He stated only 4% of Dominican people, 4%, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4% of Dominica is making more than $2,500 a month, which means that 96% of the Dominican population is making less than $2,500 a month. 96. Boy, I tell you. Yeah, so that's one of the reasons why they bring the foreigners, so that they can get the cut. Mango is saying we can all agree that Dominica has the potential to self-sustain. Yes, that's why I believe that Dominica doesn't need to make people pay taxes. Dominica has everything. The whole Caribbean is connected, brothers and sisters. Not the whole Caribbean. The whole Caribbean can be found in Little Dominica. Every resource, every single resource, brothers and sisters, every single resource that the other Caribbean islands have, Dominica has it. But the other Caribbean islands doesn't have every single resource Dominica has. Not at all. My goodness, we sit on 9 active volcanoes. That should tell you something, don't it? Man have to be buying fertilizer from outside and saying you don't have fertilizer in Dominica. When you're 9 active volcanoes. Bruh, sometimes I don't know it. Sometimes, man. Yeah, Hendricks also is saying MMC controls billions. You are trying to tell me Dominicans don't have the brains to sell passports and build roads? It's not about necessarily having the Dominicans. Remember, the government wants to make sure that foreigners are the ones doing so that they can get their cut. That's all it is. That's all it is. It's not about, they can get their cut and some links actually have links, more links than them. I'm not calling the person in Soufriere name. Let's continue.
Thank you.
I'll just be there for 15 more minutes, guys, and I'm rolling out.
What it can do by merely just putting government policies in place, and that will respond to the people of Dominica, that is the population at large, to enjoy all the benefits and success of government policy. That's what shared prosperity is all about. Because at the end of the exercise, the people must thrive.
Yep, you make the economy elevate, and the people want to work to make sure that they get the opportunities will definitely do so. That's what it is. Putting the food on the table and saying, hey guys, you have to walk up this step to come and get the food. That's the whole point. Some people checking, boy, that way that I'm waiting for the elevator. Okay.
So at this point in time, you've heard the political leader, the deputy political leader, and you've heard the deputy vice president. At this point in time, we'd invite the press for questions.
Can you outline now any policy statement on these matters, the international airport and the CG investment program? Because obviously, it's about fixing the economy, and one would expect to hear something about, obviously, the CG investment program and the international airport. Where do you stand on
Are you guys hearing the questions? If not, let me know that as well. So I'll bring up the audio.
All right, thanks, Curtis, for these very good questions. On the international airport, my understanding is that it is being built, but I suspect it will not be finished by the time we have a change of government. In which case, I want to give the people of Dominica our solemn promise that we will complete the international airport.
But the question I would ask, is the airport in a viable place? How would you complete the airport? Would there be a change in the area if the area that they build in the airport is not conducive? Because it seems like if the area they build in international airport is not conducive, that means we're wasting money.
Because we believe it is an important part of our tourism promotion and what we are promoting. And given the tens of millions of dollars already invested in this program, it makes sense that this project be completed.
Hopefully they do the necessary, necessary things that they have to do to ensure that the airport is viable. Because even if you build international airport and the airplane companies are like, yo, we ain't seeing the tests and stuff, we're not taking any chances, then the airport will just be a waste of money.
But I know it's running into problems of cost overruns already and all the rest of the issues. But I can guarantee you, when we get into office, we will ensure that this international airport is completed. That's a project, of course, we will embrace. With regards to the CBI, I wanted to ensure that we build a vision that is not based on something that is on its way out. There is a natural end that will come to the CBI program. And it is clear that it will not last forever. And I say that because countries that are more developed than Dominica, in Europe, for example, I think of Malta, of Greece, of Bulgaria, countries that had those programs have all been shutting down the programs.
Yep.
And for good reason. They have been shutting down the programs because of the pressure that they have come under, in particular from the European Union and others. And they've had to forgo billions and billions of dollars that had propped up their economies. So I suspect that this same thing is going to come to us.
But knowing Scared, he's going to try his best to ride that horse until he cannot ride no more. That's because Dominica have been still selling a set of passports, guys. Still.
Already, we are at a stage where we have almost as many holders of Dominican passports under this program as there are natural-born Dominicans. Mm-hmm. So that is also a cause of concern. So it tells me that at some point, this program is going to come to an end. So it makes sense that any plan, any vision for Dominica should consider the CBI not as a central part of that vision, but as bring it in at the point where it can contribute. So it's not that we're not interested in the CBI program, but we do believe that it has probably it is coming very soon to its conclusion. But we are firm in the belief that if we develop our water industries, if we develop our agriculture, develop our tourism, our manufacturing sectors, we will have no need for the CBI program.
I agree.
Because these monies will be generated, will be going directly into the pockets of the Dominican public.
And then creating an entrepreneurial space.
Every single person will be sharing. Because you will notice that we have generated millions of dollars in the CBI program. But how many Dominicans can boast of having received a cool out from this?
Exactly. St. Kitts, Dominicans receiving money from CBI in St. Kitts. Eh? Dominica have almost half the sale of all 5 countries when it comes down to the sale of CBI passports. And Dominicans participating in St. Kitts CBI, and Dominicans yet to get nothing but labor.
How many Dominicans can boast of having received a few dollars directly from the CBI? But if we focus on tourism, on agriculture, on manufacturing.
By the way, guys, there's a number of you guys in the building right there. If you want to leave a super chat, you can definitely do so. Of course, helping to support and push your channel further and further, guys. Of course, there's a number of you guys in there. Also, click the like button. I would appreciate that right there. Click the thumbs up button to help push these videos further and further. I know we're about to end on these vibrations, but definitely do so, guys. I would appreciate you definitely doing so right there. Hendrix, our self-esteem is very low, and we have fear of our own shadow. It starts in the mind. I agree with that. John D. Rockefeller only had high school and was the richest man in the world because he understood how things work. Brothers and sisters, if you understand how things work, and keep in mind, To understand how things work is not what you get in school, eh? Because school is meant to make you a servant of the system. School is meant to make you a servant of the system. Don't get me wrong, you know, school is good. Understand the basics. Some people need to further education to become doctors. Even that self, I wouldn't talk about that too much. But to become engineers and so forth, you need to go to school to learn. Sometimes you don't even need to do these things. We are a YouTube university where a number of persons actually did this on their own. And sometimes even better than the very people who went to school for these things. It's just that sometimes you need the credentials to show that you can actually do it. That's what the paper is for, you know. To show that you can do it, even though sometimes you are better than the very people who have the paper itself. So, yeah. Jerry Nelson is saying a lazy set, rather beg, disgraceful set. Yeah. A lot of lazy people in this place, brothers and sisters. Hendricks is saying, let's carry it go and prove how smart he is running his own company. Every airport around the world loses money. It's a fact. And St. Vincent have 4 international flights a year. Grenada, there's 6 international. Well, I've heard that. I haven't necessarily heard that though. I don't. Well, thanks for the comment. Shad, big up yourself one time. Common sense isn't common at all. It's common, you know. It's just that those who have common sense are saying, well, why should I talk when the people have chosen their own way already? So it's still common, it's just that it's silent. But I think more people need to come out and talk. I know this because when I talk to a number of persons, even laborites agreeing with what I'm saying. Say, mistakes, I agree with you. I see what you're saying, that's true, boy. I don't know. They will still say they're not going to vote. My partner used to give me blows the other day, or I used to give him a set of blows too, you know. Set of blows. Today he tell me not voting. I say, what? He say, bro, oh, I say, but you one of the heavy supporters of Labour. You mean you're not voting? I say, bro, well, I don't believe in the man again. The man does, thing. And the boy say he used to listen to me, even though he used to try to give me some, thing. He used to listen to me and realize what I said because he left the country and found out what I saying was actually true. Gasa, how does it take people, after a set of years after I telling you these things, you leave the country once you leave it to you? And you come back and you realize what I telling you was the truth. That's why some of all you need to travel. Hendricks again, Jamaica cannot manage their airport. The Mexican manage Jamaican's airport. Well, they're getting help from America now. Hendricks, as usual, you are speaking truth to power. Guys, I'm just going to say for like 5 more minutes and then we're rolling out.
That is money that will go directly into the pockets of every single Dominican. And here is where the prosperity begins. Here is where being able to meet your bills, take care of your family, and feel proud
spending
to be a
power,
Dominican
having spending power.
Dr. Fontaine, in 2024, you are currently the United Progressive Party of Antigua's conference. Now, what is the difference from Mia Morton coming to speak to the Labour Party in Dominica? She being the current chair of CARICOM does not take from the fact that she is the leader of the political party. I want to address that. Also, you spoke about a unified opposition, but yet still there seems to be infighting within the ranks and file of the political party.
Who's that now? Is it Kalai?
You assume the post of political leader of the UWP for a second time, getting the popular votes. Yet it appears that some persons in the party are not happy and are bent on undermining you. How long do you intend to stay in certain organization that is not appreciative of you?
That's a good question, but anyways, let him answer.
I'm going to start with that last question first, because it's an easy one. Kala, let me assure you that I'm in this not for myself. I'm in this struggle for the people of Dominica. I'm in this struggle because I believe that with a group of persons like myself who are committed to this country, who have sacrificed over many, many years. Look at our deputy political leader, a man who has sacrificed his youth for Dominica.
Hector.
They're all standing strong. They're all embracing my leadership. And we're all moving forward together. So it's not so much about me. And there is no question of living or moving away. If anything, my resolve is strengthened. If anything, I am more encouraged today than I was yesterday. And I'll be more encouraged tomorrow than I am today to continue to fight for those pillars that we spoke about. Because I can see, in my view, I can see exactly where this country can get to. And I understand that the challenges, the infighting as you refer to it, the struggles that we have had to go through, that is all part of the process. You know, when iron is being proven, it's going through the fire, you know, it is heated, it is melted, it is shaped. That's exactly what is happening to us as a party. To ensure that at the end of the day, we are well
Kudos. Kudos for that answer, no doubt about it.
positioned.
But sometimes I think it's useless what they're doing. Some of these people, they're just useless. We're just making noise because you want somebody else to be the political leader because it's your people. Rubbish! Anyways, let's continue.
To be able to live this country.
I like that answer.
So in the midst of all of this, we are building character. We are building leaders so that if God forbid something happens to me, another person will carry on with it. And that is what this is all about. It's not about Thomson Fontaine, but it's about a united Workers' Party, Team Dominica, and a unified opposition that is determined to make change in this country. Now, with regard to Ms. Mia Motley, my concern about Ms. Mia Motley coming to Dominica is that she wears the hat of the chairperson of CARICOM. And she did not come to Dominica simply as the leader of the Barbados Labour Party.
Yep.
She came to Dominica
As the
wearing the
chair.
hat of the leader of CARICOM.
That's exactly what I stated in the reaction with the Bajans.
A leader who, by the way, would have had to make decisions such as bringing in RSS troops if the Prime Minister told her that we were under threat. This also is a Prime Minister who unrepentantly took over Ross University, literally put in a bag and carried over to Barbados 30% of Dominica's gross domestic product of our economy, taking away scores and scores of lives and livelihoods.
No, before you continue, guys, when you're saying 30%, that is direct GDP. There's also the indirect cause of the GDP, which could go to probably like 45% of the GDP. Because then you have the people who came to Ross, and then you have the business places that were able to get monies from a number of persons as a result of the students coming in. So there's indirect as well.
In the process, saddling house owners, the hundreds and scores of Dominicans who invested in the Picard estate now have loans that they're not able to pay, jeopardizing our banking system because those loans are there, languishing, and the houses obviously cannot be resold.
It's facts. To the point where the banks are just taking whatever people can give them. Because people don't want to buy housing in Picard anymore because Ross is gone. And the banks cannot take back the housing to sell to anybody because nobody wants to buy the housing, brothers and sisters. So the banks are just taking whatever people are giving them. Hey, you make this amount, okay, you get $100 when you're supposed to be paying $2,000. Well, we'll take the $100. Thank you very much. That's how it goes in Picard right now.
So it's in that context we have to view it. It's not just another Prime Minister. When I went to Antigua on the invitation of the UPP, I went there as a fellow leader addressing a fellow community. This was not a national rally. This rally was a Labour Party affair, and I felt that as the Prime Minister and as the leader of CARICOM, she should have abstained from coming into Dominica.
I agree.
But she came, and we're happy she came because she spoke truth to power.
Yep.
You know?
She said what is. And while I was there, brothers and sisters, I wonder if the Laborites were listening to what she was saying. Because they too was cheering and not realizing the very thing that they were cheering, the Prime Minister is doing against them. First time I see that, well, I've seen it a few times on the Labour Party people. They're talking about employment and they're talking about raising minimum wage, and the people are clapping. Mias literally said that the minimum wage raised the same day that she came to Dominica. And then I asked myself the question, but Labour is not listening to what she's saying right there. You guys, you have been asking to raise minimum for so long. Dominica's minimum wage is one of the lowest, if not the lowest, in the Caribbean.
She made it very clear to the Prime Minister that it is not acceptable that he should keep taking away jobs from the people of Dominica.
Yeah.
So in that sense...
And then giving it to foreigners. Lie. They're taking away jobs from Dominicans that Dominicans can do. We just talk about the lighting thing there. They go into Canada to get people. To contract, to get Canadian contractors to come and do things in Dominica. When they had the Dominican doing it, and the Dominican could have done it, and for some reason or the other, that guy just has no idea what happened. Now they're going to get Canadian people to come and do it. taking away jobs from the Dominican people. Mia Motley said this on the stage and labor rights were clapping, not realizing what's happening to them. Either they don't realize or they just ignorant.
You know, what was probably meant for another purpose turned out good. And I hope the Prime Minister got the message that was sent clearly from the Prime Minister of Barbados.
It just says that Mia Motley has no idea what is happening in Dominica. She come with the notion to say a number of things, and she's saying, you labor rights are the ones championing this, when it is actually not them championing it. They are doing the complete opposite. So if you're doing the complete opposite and somebody's on stage saying you should do this and not try to take away jobs from the people, and you are taking away jobs from the people to give foreigners, who exactly are you talking to? Who exactly is championing that of which you are speaking of? Who? And the people, because it sounds nice. It's all about that. This is why, well, keep in mind, the people they receive packages to come to that rally right there.
That things are not right in Dominica and that he needs to do better.
Guys, you know what? I think I'll react to the rest of this later on, man. I think I'll react because I think there's a number of interesting questions right there. 39 minutes. So I might do another reaction on this live interaction because this is very interesting right there, guys. But I'm already almost on 2 hours. So, and I have to roll out since 7:30. I should have been rolling out right there. But anyways, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed the vibrations. Click the thumbs up button for me. I would appreciate that right there. And of course, if you still want to leave a super chat, you can definitely do so as well. A super chat helps to, show some sort of support to the channel. My thing is shaking or something. Yeah, I might need a new mic. Show some support so I can get a new mic right there because this thing is tripping right now. But I just want to tell you guys I appreciate every single one of you guys who've tuned into this vibe. I will definitely be doing more on this because I think it's important to hear the questions. This is like halfway in the video. So I think I'll definitely be doing a follow-up as well. There's one to hear his point. I will also link that video back to the other one. And as a result of that, guys, we'll make things happen right there. Thanks so much for being a part of these vibes. Definitely don't forget to subscribe and turn on that post notifications so you can get more vibrations, and they do definitely tend to come through. On Wednesday, I will be back again, guys, to the rest of this video. I will link this video in the description so you guys can check it out just in case. And of course, with that said, right there, brothers and sisters, be real. No, let me just read. Let me read the rest of what you guys have to say right there. This is kind of crazy on my part right there. I know I have to go, but hey. Hendrik is saying, it's so sad to see my people suffer. 37 years after independence, we remain at the bottom of the economic ladder. We weren't at the bottom all the time, brothers and sisters. There was sometime between the mid and up echelon of the Caribbean. No, Dominica is smack dab at the bottom. Not one of the worst, Dominica is the worst. Literally at the very bottom with all the resources that it has. It is at the very bottom. I remember when Reginald Ostrich saying we have been far too long in the Caribbean. The very Reginald that helped cause Dominica to be far last kakarat for far too long. Interesting. And then, of course, we have Hendricks again. And if we don't wake up, the Chinese must take Dominica away from us. Guys, we must stop talking about Chinese so much like this, man. If we'll stop doing this. If we constantly say this over and over and over, we'll eventually believe that the Chinese will take over. The Chinese has not taken over. Okay, we owe the Chinese a lot of debt, no doubt about it. We just need to clear that debt, brothers and sisters, and we'll be good to go already. Mango is saying we united in 1978 to gain our independence. It's time to unite and vote Skerrit out of office. The only problem in Dominica, brothers and sisters, is Skerrit. Not Hurricane Maria, not Tropical Storm Erica, not Rona, none of that stuff is Skerrit. That is the problem. The main problem, the root of all Dominicans' problem, every single one of them is Skerrit. And I understand the people have some blame to take, but Skerrit is willfully doing what he's doing. With the backs of the people that he ends up having to pay to show some sort of support for them. So we know that what took place in Dubla was all about aesthetics. Yeah, Jerry Nelson, they listening, they just blind. Well, you have to listen with your ears. But yeah, I get your point right there. They're listening, but apparently they can't seem to see. Just like when he told them he have the life insurance, they clapping everything. Yeah, they just clapping because they probably give them a prompt for them to clap. For some reason or the other, I don't know. Anyways, guys, thanks so much for tuning with your boy on this here Vibes. I will definitely do the rest on Wednesday, so definitely tune in for the rest on Wednesday, guys. And of course, don't forget to click the thumbs up button. And with us today, right here, brothers and sisters, I'll see you guys in the next live interaction reaction video. No doubt about it. Be real, brothers and sisters. Be positive.